Welcome back everyone, Oz here, and today I've got some r/AmITheDevil for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading the posts, giving you my own opinion, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. r/confessions. My entire degree is an AI lie, and I'm one lab practical away from total meltdown. Throwaway for obvious reasons. I'm typing this at 3 AM because I can't sleep, and I'm shitting myself, and I need to get this off my chest before I literally explode or something. After COVID, my uni kept their foundation courses fully online. Assignments, exams, labs, all virtual. I was burned out, and I don't know. So I started using ChatGPT for everything. Calculus, AI solved it. With workings and everything. Lab reports, AI wrote them. Essays, Grammarly plus AI paraphrasing. I copy-pasted answers into exams, changed a few words so it looked real. I didn't study, not once. And it worked. Turnitin never flagged me, professors never noticed. I got a perfect 4.0 GPA, but now I'm in my first semester of a nutrition degree and I'm screwed. Because here's the truth, I learned nothing. My knowledge of math, chem, bio wasn't even there at the first place. Why I'm freaking the fuck out? I'm quote-unquote acing my nutrition coursework, but it's all AI. Assignments? ChatGPT does them. Quizzes? I screenshot questions and send them to AI. Professor keeps praising my insightful analysis, but every compliment feels like a knife twist. Guilt! Nutrition is about human health. How can I ethically do this? What if I mess up a future client's diet because I cheated on my entire degree? Labs start next month. AI can't pipette liquids. I have to measure nutrient densities in person. What happens when I blank out and can't explain the Krebs cycle to my professor's face? I've tried to fix this, but I'm too far gone. Tried rewatching old lectures, but even the introductory videos made no sense. Downloaded Anki to memorize glycosis and ketosis, etc. Quit after 2 days. What's the point if I don't get the chemistry behind it? Bought a chem textbook. It's just a core now. I panic opened it last week and cried because I couldn't understand page 1. Even tried learning while cheating, like asking ChatGPT to explain stuff as it writes my essays, but I'm just copying words I don't retain. It's a loop of shame and panic. The worst part? I can't ask for help. If I confess to anyone, I'm gone. My school's academic policy is zero tolerance, but if I don't fix this, I'll fail my food science lab in 6 weeks. AI can't sanitize lab gear or calculate macros on the spot. My mental health is gone. I disassociate during lectures. I have constant fear about being exposed mid-presentation. Staring at a room full of people who hate me. Please, if you've been here, how did you survive? How do I somehow relearn 2 years of STEM basics, math, chem, bio, while using AI to keep my nutrition grades up? Are there guilty cheat study hacks, like using AI to teach me while it does my homework, or hiding gaps in group projects? Should I fake a mental breakdown to drop out, or keep cheating until I get caught? How do I stop feeling like a monster? Too long didn't read, I AI cheated through post-COVID foundation program. Now I'm top of my class in nutrition, but labs plus guilt will destroy me. How do I unfuck 2 years of lies without getting caught? Buddy, I think you're fucked. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people pointed out in the comment section that they have doubts because they said that they used ChatGPT to solve calculus, but because he also used Grammarly plus AI, I actually think he probably just used Mathway or something similar that advertises like, AI assistant tool where you take a photo of the equation and it solves it for you. That would be my guess. Some people have claimed that this is written by AI, but let me tell you this, AI can't write panic in the voice. And that is certainly there. So, buddy, friend, pal, I honestly think you're fucked, and I think you should probably just drop out. And maybe if you want to actually do something good, because you're probably not going to get your nutrition degree, maybe inform the university of how you used AI to cheat for as far as you did. So then maybe they can invest in some guardrails to prevent students from falling into this trap later on and catch them early. Originally posted to r/AmITheAsshole, would I be the asshole public? Am I the asshole for being angry at my ex-wife because she hides the fact that she has a job? So me, male 29, and my wife, female 30, We're together for 5 years and knew each other for 11. We were doing well at first, but I admit that at some point I said a few things that started to affect our marriage. At some point, because of what I said, she quit her job. Or at least that's what she told me. Just gonna cut in real quick. That was a perfect example of missing reasons right there. Like, buddy, what'd you say? Previously, she worked in the office from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I was often out of town, sometimes I was gone for 2 weeks, and when I worked in our city, I was gone from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. In retrospect, I can see there were some signs, but at the time, when we were together, I had time off, she always made excuses. I'm emailing my grandma, I have to call my parents, I'm talking to a friend, etc. When she said her boss let her keep her laptop because it was old, it barely worked, so she just had to delete work data from it. I believed her too. Over the years, I only remember one really strange situation. Due to an accident at work, I came home at 1 p.m. and she wasn't there. I called her. She said she was with her parents and would be back in a few hours. I called them. She wasn't there. When she came back, she was acting strangely. For a moment, I suspected her of cheating, but then other very good things happened and she convinced me that her behavior had something to do with it. Last year in August, after an argument, she took all her belongings and left. Now our divorce had started and I found out that she still had her job this whole time. In fact, she got a promotion. I'm angry. We had a lot of problems. Often we didn't have money. A few times I even took out a loan, myself because they wouldn't give it to her. I tried to find a second job. I worked even when I had huge health problems. And she had money this whole time? In addition, by stopping contributing to the bills and using only my salary, she has accumulated a lot of savings. The house has nothing to do with her. Her name is not on any of the papers, so she's completely safe. In the meantime, I have to suffer. I feel confused and used, but I feel like I'm the only one who sees it that way. My parents don't want to interfere, but I know what they think. My sister 25 laughs at me and says I deserve it. I know I wasn't the best person at some point, but for me, it all came down to words. She actively made our lives a nightmare, completely changed our lifestyle, pushed me to do things I didn't want to do for years, lied about a lot of other things. I almost believed her that I was infertile. And now, she's walking around happy and people are rooting for her. Hey, so buddy, I want to circle back to that first paragraph where you said that I admit that at some point I said a few things that started to affect our marriage. At some point, because of what I said, she quit her job. What did you say to her that made her feel like she had to hide the fact that she still had a job from you? What did you say to her that made her feel that she had to hide her secondary income source when you were struggling? What did you say to her that put you in the position where you were the sole breadwinner of the family and then started struggling because of it? So when you two were having financial issues and, you had to pull out a loan, did you ever ask her if she should maybe consider getting a new job, or was that entirely out of the purview of it? Like, the fact that your sister is laughing at you and saying that you deserve it, and the fact that you won't tell us what you told her, but all you will say is that your words led her to quit her job, or at least make it feel like she has to lie to you about her keeping her job? Like, it's not difficult to see why so many people are rooting against you, dude. Originally posted to r/relationship advice. I, 29 female, incorrectly thought my boyfriend, 31 male, was cheating, and I ruined everything. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 2 years. I'll save everyone the long description and just say that he's an incredible boyfriend, and I constantly feel like I won the lottery with him, and want nothing more than to marry him. But I've totally thrown it all down the toilet, and I don't know if there's any way I can fix this. Last week on Friday, we were hanging out at my place. He was going to head back to his place, and while he was in the bathroom, his phone chimed. It was a message from Jennifer, not real name, saying, "Just checking that we're still on for tomorrow night. You're picking me up, right?" My heart dropped. He doesn't have a pass on his phone, so I checked the message history. It started recently with her saying, "It's me!" and "Is it okay that I'm texting you?" To which he said something like, "Of course," and some emojis. He said he was going to take her out Saturday and she could pick wherever they were going to go. He came back from the bathroom. I quickly turned off the phone and was just frozen. I should have said something, but I was just, totally numb. My heart was beating so fast. He said, "Talk to you later," and headed out. I was completely sick all night. The next day I decided I wouldn't confront him immediately. Another mistake. So, around noon, I texted him and asked what we are going to do tonight, to see what he says. He said he forgot to tell me that he had plans over at his brother's house, around 90 minutes away, and that we could do something on Sunday. I didn't write back. I was just watching it all fall apart. Finally, I sent him something when he was going to his brother's, and he said he was already in the car on his way, and that he'd text me later. So, I got in my car and drove over to his brother's house, knowing that he'd have a head start on me, and when I arrive, he should be there if he's telling the truth. I get there, and sure enough, his car is nowhere to be found. I should have gone up to the door and spoken with his brother, but I was a wreck, so I drove home. That night, I put his shit in a box, and in the morning, I drove over to his place. I had rehearsed what I was going to say and how calm I wanted to say it in my head like 1,000 times. But when I pushed the box into his chest and said, I knew about Jennifer, and we're done, he had kind of a smirk on his face, like he thought I was joking, and I just lost all my cool. I said so many terrible things. I told him I'll get a better, hotter boyfriend, no problem. And I should have upgraded from him long ago. And I'm just going to find someone who doesn't require me to fake it when we're having sex. I don't fake it. I really like sex with him, and I find him very attractive. I also made some comment about him being small. His size is fine. Because I know he's self-conscious about this, and I knew it would hurt. I wanted him to hurt, like I was hurting. And I know it's fucked up. I'm a terrible person. He's totally in shock at this point, jaw open, tears in eyes. I told him that when Jennifer gets sick of his terrible sex, don't come crawling back to me, and I started to leave. This is when he tells me that Jennifer is his 12-year-old niece. I've only met her a few times, and as far as I knew, her name was Mei Mei, not real name. But it turns out that's a Chinese nickname that has some specific significance to her family. My boyfriend's sister-in-law is from China. I don't know for sure if I ever knew or was told specifically that Jennifer was her real name, but I've heard her called Mei Mei, and I've called her that myself, so what the fuck? She turned 12 recently and got a phone for the first time, hence the new text conversation. I knew she just turned 12. He had a work conflict and couldn't make the party. I knew that he had promised to take her out for a night sometime to make up for missing her party. I knew all of this, but I just didn't put any of the pieces together. He shut the door and went no contact on me. I banged on his door until I was pretty sure he had left out the back and taken off. I tried showing up at his work the next day, but they have security in the entrance and you need an employee to get you in. He refused the call from security when I asked them to call him at his desk. I've tried reaching out to mutual friends, but I get told that he saw how I really felt about him and can't stay with someone who pretends to care but secretly is desperate for better. But I'm not at all desperate for better. I'm desperate for him. I know this is 1,000,000% on me. He's done absolutely nothing wrong, but I said things to hurt him because I was sure he was cheating on me, and I said things that were not true. I know saying things to hurt him is terrible, and I am terrible, and I hate myself for ruining both our lives, but he needs to know that I didn't mean that, and that isn't how I ever have felt about him at all. If I had just been a fucking adult about the whole thing, none of this would have happened, but I lost it, and now I feel like my entire future that I had is gone. I don't know how I can possibly convince someone that something I said is not true. I've actually looked into paying for a polygraph test and trying to get it to him. There are some places in the city that charge a few $100 for one. If that sounds desperate, it's because it is, and I am absolutely desperate at this point. I seriously just want to die. 2 weeks ago, I was thinking he was going to propose at Valentine's Day based on the plans he was making, and today, I'm crying my eyes out as my life falls apart and I'm hearing that his friends are taking him out tomorrow to be his wingman and help find someone for him to help him get over me. Every time I think about it, I feel like I'm gonna vomit. Too long didn't read. I thought I had conclusive proof my boyfriend was cheating. I ended up saying the meanest things I could think of to him. Turns out the other girl was his 12-year-old niece who he was treating to a birthday dinner out as her present. He thinks those things I said were my true feelings and has basically dumped me. I'm a terrible person who's destroyed my entire life in a weekend. Edit, just want to say that I totally agree with all the comments blasting me. I made all the wrong decisions, I acted like a psycho and immature piece of shit, and I have no one to blame here at all but myself. I also completely realize that I've done terrible things to him and I feel disgusting for having done this. I sent him a letter telling him that I'll no longer try to contact him so he doesn't have to worry about me showing up. I told him that I'm beyond sorry for blowing up his life with my outburst and immature behavior, but I told him to please believe me that I didn't mean anything I said for his own peace of mind in his future. I was contemplating following through with the polygraph and just sending the results as a way to try to help his state of mind in his future relationships, as opposed to using the results to try to convince him to give me another chance. But I think maybe it seems too crazy of a thing to do, so I'm just gonna leave it. I told him the time we had together was the greatest time of my life, and I'm sure whoever is the girl that is lucky enough to be with him next will probably feel like she won the lottery, just like I always did. I realize that I've destroyed my life, but I hope that he can recover from what I've done, so at least the destruction can be somewhat limited to me more than him. I'm not gonna kick OP while they're down. They see that what they've done was just entirely incorrect, and they understand where they tripped and fell every step of the way, and the fact that when they had the opportunity to be given a ladder, they chose to keep digging. They see that, and there's no point in rubbing their nose in it. At this point, the story is more of a lesson to us for something to learn from. OP has learned from their mistakes and understands what they can and cannot do to mend this situation. This is a phenomenal example of to just simply have a conversation beforehand. Even if you're suspecting your significant other of something as serious as cheating, it's always better to have a conversation than just to allow it to build up and explode, because you might say something that in the moment, the heat of it has got you rolling, but you'll regret it every second afterwards. And that's the kind of shit you can't take back. Because those things, whether said from the heart and meant with truth, or, which I can only assume the boyfriend understood this, they were purposefully created and stated just to get under your skin and hurt you. They were your greatest insecurities that were shared with your partner in confidence that were then weaponized and used in order to swing at you and hit you while you're down. And that's what OP did. Originally posted to r/relationship advice. 33 male, 29 female. I tried to rehome my girlfriend, 29 female, dog after it bit me, and now I think I've ruined everything. I've stopped drinking, and I want to fix this. Any ideas? I know I sound like the villain, I probably am, but I want to be honest about what happened and what I'm trying to do now. I've been dating my girlfriend for almost a year, 2 months ago. I moved into her apartment. She's one of the kindest, most empathetic people I've ever known. She also has a dog. A pit bull mix she's had since he was a puppy. He's 5 now. She adores him, sleeps with him, talks to him like he's her child. Honestly, I used to think it was kind of silly. Now I understand it a bit better. I don't have much experience with animals. I didn't grow up with them. I'd never had that emotional attachment to pets that some people do. I also wasn't in the best place when I moved in. Without making excuses, I've been drinking more than I should for a long time. Not the kind of thing where I'm slurring every night, but definitely the kind where I come home tense and use whiskey to take the edge off. Some nights it's 2 drinks, some nights it's the bottle. I didn't think it affected me until last week. That's when everything blew up. I came home irritated and buzzed, saw the dog on the couch. I'd told her early on I wasn't comfortable with him on the furniture. He's a big dog, and I'm just not used to animals in my space. Maybe I pushed that rule too hard. Either way, I saw him there and something in me snapped. I reached for his collar to pull him off, rougher than I should have. He growled, then bit my wrist. I panicked. I yelled. I kicked the coffee table, not him, just lashed out. My wrist was bleeding. I was shaking with adrenaline and a little drunk. If I'm being honest, she ran in, saw the blood, but went straight to the dog. She was crying, petting him, telling him it was okay. And I lost it. I said we needed to get rid of him, that it wasn't safe, that he was just a dog. I said she could get another one later. I didn't see the horror on her face until she started crying for real. I slept on the couch for 2 nights. On the 3rd day, I called a friend who works with a breeder to ask if he knew someone who'd take the dog. I thought I was being proactive. I thought I was protecting her and me. I didn't realize how massively violating that was. Her dog isn't furniture, he's her family. She found out because my buddy texted her. Now she won't speak to me. She's staying in the bedroom with the dog. She posted something online about betrayal and protecting those who can't speak. She told me to go stay with my mom while she thinks things over. That was 5 days ago. I haven't had a drink since. I'm not writing this for pity. I want to change. I need to change. For her, for me, for whatever future I still have a chance at. I want to make this right, not just to win her back, but because I hate the person I've been. I didn't understand what it meant to live with someone who's already built a world around loyalty, gentleness, and empathy, and I bulldozed into it, thinking I could fix things by taking control. I don't deserve her forgiveness, but I want to be worthy of it someday. If anyone has been in a similar spot, whether it's substance use, messing up your relationships, or not understanding your partner's bond with their pet, please tell me. Is there anything else I can do besides give her space, stay sober, and show her I'm working on myself? I love her. I miss the way she looks at that dog. I want to be someone she doesn't have to protect him from. Well, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no coming back from what you've done. At this point in time, all you can do is grow and improve yourself, and perhaps one day find someone new. 5 days is certainly not enough time to fully change yourself, and right now you're only sober because of the guilt you have. It's going to take more time than that, but good on you for taking the first steps. That's a big deal. I'm also satisfied with OP's willingness to take accountability for their fuck-up. They're still trying to get answers, but that's human. I still think what you did is awful, but because you are trying to recognize your faults, I'm not going to kick you while you're down. But just so that way you, as well as anyone listening, can understand. To put it in perspective, the dog was chilling on furniture that it always does. That is part of his home, it's what he recognizes. This guy comes in, aggressively reaches for the collar, and pulls the dog by its neck. Can you really blame the dog for snapping? OP has a lot of personal growth and possibly therapy they need to go through first. And it's up to OP what he decides to do with that next chapter. And I can almost guarantee to you, that next chapter doesn't involve your ex-girlfriend. You tried to rehome a member of her family behind her back. There's no taking that back. She's gone, dude. And it's important that you focus on yourself and you focus on rebuilding who you want to be. Posted to r/relationship advice. My 23 female boyfriend, 23 male, is a moron and couldn't flirt but rather fight over some unexplainable insecurity. Can you help me see why my actions are supposedly ridiculous? Okay, I need an honest and objective point of view. I, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 23 male, are together for 2.5 years. Our relationship is usually a happy one, except for one reoccurring theme for our fights. I like to whine, play coy, and then being pampered like a baby. It's a love language for me. Saying, "you don't love me anymore," or "if you missed me, why wouldn't you say so before I asked," etc., is a way for me to say, I want attention and reassurance. This is important for me to feel loved. Jesus fucking Christ. Being able to flirt with teasing and then getting bombarded by love is just such a cute theme that I want and need in a relationship. However, whenever I act that way and expect a reply of cuddles, love, or pampering, he starts being grumpy, and then we full-on start fighting. He says that I don't trust him or his love, or I accuse him / attack him, etc., etc., and that sucks. I hate it. Usually my mode would be all playful and flirtatious, then boom! He began this nonsense, and I don't even understand when we started fighting or why. He kills all the mood, and I got angry with him for it. He says that I don't take responsibility for my actions and accuse him of killing the mood. And he says that what I do is not trusting his love. Today, this scenario repeated itself. Again. And eventually, I lost my temper and said that yes, I need to hear reassurance of his love because he is not showing enough. Now, I love him, and I want to see the issue clearly, but honestly, all I can see is that he is just turning a cute moment into a ridiculous fight by being insecure or shit, I don't know. So please help me see his point of view because apparently I cannot understand it, and his way of dealing with problems is shutting down. I really need advice. Can someone explain what is really going on and who is the one ruining everything to me? I really don't see it, and obviously I'm pretty fucking pissed off to think clearly at this point. User Grows on Walls, the person who posted this to AmITheDevil, but not the original poster, actually grabbed one of OP's comments, with them having the addition of whining, pouting, and accusing the boyfriend of not loving her is not a love language. It's just being incredibly childish and manipulative. It's also a kink. But she says, okay, I am not sure if something is lost in translation, but whining, being able to act needy or annoyed in front of your loved one and getting comforted by him, being pampered, etc., those are all cute for me. Taking care of someone, giving the effort and time to attend each other's needs, keeping up with their occasional moodiness is a way of saying I love you. Why is this wrong? And no one said it's constant. I'm not acting like a baby 724. I just think that life is fucking hard and we are grazing around covered in our shiny armors all day long. When I get home, I like to put my tough girl mask aside and be soft. Be a bit needy and taken care of. Grows on Walls continues, I have no idea why she thinks any of this is cute. What I am about to say is going to sound incredibly mean, but I'm going to be extremely blunt. Her boyfriend is probably fucking tired of coming home from work and having to deal with his age-play girlfriend. Like, if you and your partner are both walking into this consenting, that's one thing. And that's not the problem here. Because if both adults are consenting to an activity, who the hell cares? But if you are essentially putting yourself in a position purposefully where you're actively forcing your partner to essentially play parent to you, like, yeah, no wonder why he's shutting down. This is probably fucking exhausting. And then on top of that, you're hitting him with, you don't love me anymore. If you miss me, why wouldn't you say so before I asked? While you're also acting like an infant. A fucking emotionally manipulative infant at that. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code OZ at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code OZ directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code OZ at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.